Welcome aboard, everybody. The second day of May 2013. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, your friendly neighborhood naturopath, your steadfast advocate for health, reminding you that only you can prevent MD-directed allopathic reductionism. Our maxim, fire your MD now. Fire your MD as soon as is humanly possible and get everyone in your life to do the same, because MD-directed medical therapeutics for the treatment of chronic disease do not work. This is why we have a healthcare crisis in North America. This is why the economy is tanking. The single biggest stress to the United States economy is the cost of healthcare. It's the same in Canada, and let me give you an example. Like the fella said, you can't fix stupid. I just pulled this off of CNN. The title is Tough Disease versus Tough Woman. Stage 4 cancer, 45 rounds of chemo doesn't slow down Gloria. Quote, I'm reading directly from the article here. It seems like the opposite of what you'd expect, but my cancer diagnosis, a staggering stage 4 colon cancer diagnosis delivered to me at the age of 28, gave me a new lease on life. Imagine that. It has changed me, I bet it has, and enriched my life in ways that I could never have imagined. Even in the moment I learned of my diagnosis and the grim prognosis that followed, I wasn't afraid, I wasn't sad, I didn't feel sorry for myself, and I wasn't angry. Well, you're just not paying attention. I was ready. I was ready to fight this disease head on and show myself and everyone else what I was made of. I believed that my will to survive, to thrive, to love and laugh and enjoy my life would carry me through any physical challenge, and it has. 46 rounds of chemo and counting. 3 surgeries, 10 rounds of radiation, and here I am. I am still fighting, and I will continue to fight until the cancer gives up, because there's no way I will give up. Throughout my time battling cancer, I've learned much about taking care of my body, mind, and spirit. Well, your spirit doesn't need to be taken care of. Your mind can't be taken care of, but your body can be taken care of. If you're going to the MDs, the people who, after 45 rounds of chemo, 10 rounds of radiation, you still have cancer, it's unbelievable. My best friend in the cancer world, a fellow warrior, and a phenomenal woman named Annette, passed away at the end of last year. Losing her has been one of the most difficult things I've ever had to endure, but her fighting spirit and my desire to honor her have helped fuel the fire in my belly, no pun intended. It has helped me push forward with my mission for the cure. You've got to be kidding me. Listen, I am all about supporting and promoting people's positive attitudes. It's a great thing. To have a fighting attitude towards life is a great thing, rather than just curling up and dying, right? It's a great thing. But the fact of the matter is, the simple fact that everybody overlooks, because everybody has drunk deeply for the last 100 years every day from the cup of the myth of the MD, especially when it comes to chemotherapy. Everybody thinks that the MDs can cure cancer, even though after $600 billion of money, $600 billion of research money, we're no closer to a cure for cancer than we were 80 years ago. Now, if you think breast cancer, we've won the fight on breast cancer, then I'm going to argue with you, because you know how they cure breast cancer, they cut the breast off. Well, I guess you could say you could cure arthritis by cutting off the knees. You could cure arthritis by cutting off the shoulders or the elbows or the arms or the legs. You could cure heartburn by cutting out the stomach. But this isn't actually a cure, is it? No, it's kind of draconian, it's kind of barbaric, it's extremely old-fashioned, but it is the norm for treatment now. $600 billion of cancer research, and we're no closer to curing cancer than we were before, and people put up with incompetence. People put up with this because most people are intimidated by intellectual thought. Most people believe that the MD is the king. And they'll walk into a multi-million-dollar high-tech cancer treatment facility, and people feel immediately overwhelmed and immediately insecure intellectually. For goodness sake, an oncologist with a white coat, a stethoscope around his neck, followed by a cadre of nurses and underlings, could tell a cancer patient that what they needed to do was jump off of the roof of the hospital, and they would do it. You don't believe me? Well, chemotherapy doesn't work. In an article published in 1997 in the Journal of Clinical Oncology, 1997, the Journal of Clinical Oncology, they did a 12-year study compiling data from all over the world, datum from all over the world, no, data is the plural, data from all over the world, I get those two mixed up, data from all over the world, looking at adults who had developed cancer and were treated with chemotherapy, and the startling results published in the Journal of Clinical Oncology, 97% of the time chemotherapy doesn't work. 97% of the time chemotherapy doesn't work. Well, why on earth is it still used? Because when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail, number one. Number two, medicine progresses one funeral at a time. Medical doctors are only going to prescribe what they're taught. There's no room for outside-of-the-box alternative, quote-unquote, thinking. By the way, it's illegal. So, if all you have is an axe to throw at the target, you're going to throw an axe at the target because 1/100th of 1% of a time, you're going to do something good. And this is what passes for the most excellent cancer care in the United States. It is a ship of fools led by fools. Medical doctors are the wrong dog for this hunt. Why is this? Because MDs are not trained in medicine. Nobody is. MDs are trained in allopathic reductionistic medicine. And allopathic reductionistic medicine is the wrong philosophy of treatment to bring to bear on cancer. MDs are clueless when it comes to the cause of cancer, and as is evidenced by their unbelievable treatment failures, they are the wrong person to go to for treatment. I mean, if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, flies like a duck, smells like a duck, it's probably a duck. MD-directed treatments for cancer don't work. They do not work. And we have been bullied and brainwashed by the pharmaceutical industry and the MDs to believe that if nobody can figure out how to fix, if anybody can figure out how to fix cancer, it's got to be the MDs because they are the owners of science, and it's not. It's not true. I mean, how many deaths is it going to take? How many more people like this poor young woman being hoodwinked by the pharmaceutical industry, and we got to raise more money for the cure for cancer. That's what we need. We need $100 million more research. We're so close to the cure. You're not even in the same country as the cure, for goodness sake. You don't even know how to cure heartburn, and you're going to tell me you can cure cancer? You've got to be kidding me. How much of a fool do you take me for? Well, absolutely quite a bit of a big fool, because chemotherapy is going stronger than ever. Cancer treatment centers are popping up all over the place because it is a gigantic moneymaker. You've got to be kidding me. This woman, 40 rounds of chemotherapy, you know how much that costs? About 10 grand each. That's 400,000. She's in it for 400,000. She's had 10 radiation therapies, probably 5,000 each. That's 50,000. We're up around $500,000, and she still has cancer. $500,000, and she still has colon cancer. Now, number one, who has $500,000 to spend? Nobody. You know how much money she's going to be in debt? Oh, maybe she had really great medical insurance. Well, maybe she did. I bet you her house is mortgaged. I bet you she's running for the cure. For goodness sake, talk about throwing good money after bad. She has been hoodwinked, and where else can you, what other business can you be involved with where you can consistently fail? And not only do you fail, but you muck it up while you're in the process. So not only do your therapies not cure the cancer, but they create horrendous side effects to boot. What other industry could you get away with that? So you bring your car in for a tune-up because it's running a little sluggish. It doesn't shift from second gear into third gear the way that it should. All right, so you bring your car to the mechanic, and you give the mechanic $1,000 to fix it, and then you take it home, and it hasn't been fixed. 2 weeks after you get it, the same problem comes back. But into the bargain, now the transmission is screwed up because what the mechanic did to help shift it from into second gear messed up another part of the transmission. Okay, so you're going to bring it back and give them another $1,000. 2 weeks later, the same thing happens. But now there's a problem with the brakes because the stuff that they did to the transmission to fix the transmission problem had a negative effect on the brakes. Okay, so now you're going to bring it back and you got to give them another $1,000. They're going to try to fix the problem, and 2 weeks later you bring it back. It doesn't work. The same problem is back, but now you have a problem with the electrical system, the computer. Oh, that's going to take $5,000 to fix. You would not do that. You would not go back to that mechanic. You would not do that because you have common sense, but you go back to the oncologist all of the time. Not only do you go back, but you enroll your friends and family and church members into supporting your run for the cure. I mean, what kind of a ship of fools is this? I feel like I'm in a Fellini movie. I feel like I'm down the looking glass, through the looking glass, down the rabbit hole. I'm in an upside-down, backwards world where disease management is a cure, expensive, dangerous, side effect ridden. Cancer treatment is the norm. Oh, let's run for the cure, folks. Let's just get one more chemotherapy formula under our belt. I'm sure that that's the way to go. Well, guess what? It's not. If you want to give money to allopathically trained MDs practicing reductionistic medicine to come up with a cure for cancer, I mean, that's like giving a communist money to generate a good voting machine. Come up with a good voting machine. Yeah, let's give that to the communists. Yeah, I don't think so. But you don't know what you don't know. And we have been so mesmerized by 100 years of pharmaceutical profiteering propaganda to believe that MDs own medicine. They are the exclusive emperor of that domain, and everybody else is substandard back-of-the-bus quacks. Even though their therapeutics kill us, even though their therapeutics harm us, even though their therapeutics fail to fix us, we go back to the same well, and it's time we collectively snapped out of it. For goodness sake, every time you see one of those pink ribbons for breast cancer research, I want you to think about the simple fact of the matter that 200 micrograms of selenium, which is a mineral cheaper than dirt, reduces the occurrence of breast cancer by 82%, and how about it, the occurrence of colon cancer by 65%. Why aren't we giving money to the doctors practicing medical nutrition to come up with a cure for cancer? Because it's not about the cure, it's all about the money. Snap out of it, your life is at risk. 866-582-9933 is the number to call to talk to me. I'm going to get to the phones in just a second here. The phones are all lit up like a Christmas tree, which is a great thing. By the way, it means our message is spreading. And, you know, it's hard to keep a good man down, or a good woman down for that matter. So I just want to read this. I wrote a book a couple of years ago called The MD Emperor Has No Clothes. Pretty catchy title. And if I do say so myself, and I am, you can purchase it by going to my website and visiting the online store, or just going to Amazon.com and doing a search for The MD Emperor Has No Clothes. It pops right up. It's $9.99 if you can download it right now to your Kindle for $10. The hardback, the paperback copy, the hard print copy is $22, I believe. Check it out. I wrote a chapter on cancer in this book, and I did it for the sole express purpose of providing these 10 questions. If every cancer patient asked these 10 questions to their oncologist, there would be no cancer treatments. Nobody would agree to have cancer treatment, or only the very stupid amongst us would do it. Here they are. I'm going to read them to you now. The 10 questions every cancer patient needs to ask their oncologist. Doctor, I understand that this hospital is a for-profit business. Because it is a for-profit business, I am shopping for the best deal that I can get. I'm sure that you understand. Towards that end, I have a few questions that I would like to ask. The answers you give me will help me to determine which hospital I'm going to use if I decide to move forward with treatment. Question number 1. What percentages of your patients with my cancer diagnosis have been cured? That's a good question, wouldn't you think? I mean, wouldn't that be the first question someone should ask? What percentage of your patients with my diagnosis of cancer have been cured? If a cure is not possible, then what can I expect by going to you for treatment? Question number 2. How many of your patients with my cancer diagnosis have survived more than 5 years? How many have survived more than 10 years? How many have survived more than 20 years? This is an interesting thing to talk about because a couple of years ago, the American Cancer Society, because they had such piss-poor, unbelievably unsatisfactory, bad results with cancer treatment, they just gave up the whole concept of being able to cure cancer. And so they move the goalpost. Since they can't cure it, now they talk about a 5-year survivability index, but most patients are not aware of this because the doctor never says, rarely says, to the cancer patient, well, this treatment is going to give you 6 extra years of life. They say, well, this is the best treatment that you have, and it has been proven to be successful in the past, and they're correct, but what they mean is that you're going to live for 5 years and a day, and then you're going to die from cancer. But the patient who's afraid for their life, doesn't know what's going on, and is completely intimidated by the situation that they find themselves in, doesn't understand where the doctor is coming from. So how many of your patients, doctor, with my diagnosis have survived more than 5 years, more than 10 years, more than 20 years? Question number 3, would it be possible for me to talk to a few of the survivors to see what the quality of their lives has been like during and post-cancer treatment? And this is another thing that MDs never talk about. They don't talk about the collateral damage, because from their point of view, you just have to shut up and do their treatment because there is no other way. And even though it doesn't work, you just have to shut up and do it because I'm the doctor and I said so. They don't care about the side effects. They don't care what happens to the quality of your life. They don't care that you're going to have to wear a diaper. They don't care that you're going to have to take 16 other medications to take care of the side effects of all the stuff that their treatments do. They don't care about that. You need to ask them and hold their feet to the fire. Question number 4. Here's a good one. What legal solutions are available to me if the procedures administered by this hospital hurt me? Before treatment, will I be required to sign a waiver which releases the hospital or you from any harm caused by the treatments? I've had patients kicked out of their office on question number 4. Kicked out of oncologist's office on question number 4. Question number 5. I was just alluding to this in my monologue. Chemotherapy was proven to be 97% ineffective in the treatment of adult-onset cancers by a study published in the Journal of Clinical Oncology. If it's 97% ineffective, why are you recommending that I do it? Ooh, there's a good one. There's a good one. Question number 6. How much will my treatment cost me? That's a nice question. Shouldn't you need to know that? Question number 7. How much profit will the hospital make from my treatment? How much profit will the hospital make from my treatment? Question number 8, how much profit will you make from this treatment? Question number 9, in this hospital, if you order a CT scan or an MRI or a chemotherapy drug, how much of a financial kickback do you get? And question number 10, if you were me, would you take the treatment that you are recommending? Ladies and gentlemen, draw a line in the sand, take your health back, ask the good questions. These aren't even hard questions. You don't have to be a knucklehead when you ask them. Just ask them. See what the response that you get is, and then tell me if you're going to move forward with an ineffective, dangerous, side effect-ridden cancer treatment that does not work. Peter Glidden here, and if your blood isn't boiling, you're just not paying attention. Just want to read you a couple more things about cancer kickbacks. In general, oncologists make money by providing chemotherapy, even when it has little chance of success. That from the New York Times. 5 years ago, many physicians were earning over $1 million per year on drug sales alone. Doctors who buy large quantities of medicine can still get big rebates from drug companies, so they can continue to make money on prescriptions, even if it is not at the safer levels of the past. Some physicians say that cancer doctors responded to Medicare's change by performing additional treatments that got them the best reimbursements, whether or not the treatments benefited the patients. People go where the money is, and if you'd like to believe it's different in medicine, it's really no different in medicine at all, says Dr. Geller. When you start thinking of oncology as a business, then all of these decisions make sense. You are taking your life and your pocketbook into your hands, literally, when you visit a chemotherapy clinic. You need to get informed. You need to also start lobbying Congress, asking your senator, asking your congressman, why isn't alternative cancer treatment legal? Why don't we give these people money? Why do we keep giving the people who suck at it a chance to fix it? If after $600 billion they can't fix it, I don't think they're going to be able to fix it. For goodness sake, remember they can't even cure heartburn. And you expect them to cure cancer? You are barking up the wrong tree. We're going to go to Florida right now and hopefully bark up the right tree. We're going to talk to Jim, who's been waiting patiently through my monologues. Hello, Jim. Thanks for calling. You are live.
Hello. Yeah, I was wondering, I got some relatives that were on longevity, and I've seen what they've done for them, and I was wondering if you could recommend a pack for my situation.
Yeah, you bet. That's what we do. So tell me what you're bothered by, and I'll see what I can do.
Everything.
Yeah. Welcome to my life, right? I know, man. Have you been given a diagnosis like arthritis or high blood pressure or type 2 diabetes?
Well, I weigh 392 pounds. I'm age 57.
Yep.
I've had a heart attack. Got a stent in.
Yep.
High blood pressure.
Yep.
I've had blood clots. One's gone to my lung.
Ouch.
And they put a filter in for any more.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
And I'm a diabetic.
Type 1 or type 2?
I'm not on insulin yet, but I'm getting to that point. It's, I've been taking 3 or 4 diabetes medications.
Yeah, metformin. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just one of them.
All right. So how?
I'm on. I've got glaucoma, high cholesterol. I got sleep apnea, thyroid medication. I'm on that.
All right. So we got to. All right. I get it. So let me. We're gonna. And you're about how much? 300 pounds.
392 pounds. Yeah.
Okay. 392.
Yeah.
All right. So, look, that's not your fault, man. I don't want you to feel bad about weighing 392 pounds, although you do. I know that you do.
Well, I weighed over 11 pounds when I was born, so
that's got nothing.
I started off big.
Yeah, but look, that's got nothing to do with it, man. I mean, the only thing that makes people gain weight, the only thing, you do not have a fat gene, you do not have a stomach that's too big. The only thing that makes people get too big is they have the wrong doctor. There was nobody in the death camps of World War II that was overweight. If you do not eat, you lose weight. The only thing that makes people gain weight is we eat too many calories. The only thing that makes us eat too many calories is our bodies are starved for vitamins and minerals and essential fatty acids. Your body has wisdom. Your body knows that it is starved for the essential nutrients, and so it forces you to eat in the desperate attempt to fill its tank up, but the food that you're eating doesn't have the nutrients necessary to do the job. So you'll have 3,000 calories at a pop, and 2 hours later you're starving again. And then your medical doctor tells you you're lazy, or your stomach's too big, or you have the fat gene.
Right, and they want me to get a bypass, stomach bypass, and all that crap.
All right, so they're full of crap, and I'm going to put them into their place, and we're going to help you out here. All right, so here's the deal. First thing, step number 1. Please visit my website, fireyourmdnow.com. Make sure you put the now in there. That's important. fireyourmdnow.com.
Okay.
And sign up on the front page. It's free, by the way, for my monthly newsletter. Just sign up for the newsletter. It's free. And as soon as you sign up for the newsletter, you will be directed to a page on the website where you can download a document for free called Good Food, Bad Food. Good Food, Bad Food. Download that document to your computer. That document lists 10 foods that you must stop eating. 10 foods that you must stop eating. So I want you to download that document, open it up, eliminate those 10 foods from your diet immediately. Just go to your pantry and start throwing stuff out if it's on that list. It's not hard to do. Just 10 foods that you need to stop eating. That's the first step. Step number 2, I want you to take 1 healthy blood sugar pack per, you're 400 pounds. If you can afford it, I want you to start with 4 healthy blood sugar packs a month. 4 healthy blood sugar packs a month. If you cannot afford that, get 3. If you cannot afford that, get 2. If you cannot afford that, get 1. I want you to have at least 1 healthy blood sugar pack a month, and if it's in the budget, get 4, because this stuff is dosed according to your body weight. You're 400 pounds, so you need 4 healthy blood sugar packs a month. In addition to that, because of the thyroid problem, I want you please to get 4 Ultimate Selenium, S-E-L-E-N, like Nancy, I-U-M, Selenium, 4 bottles of selenium a month. If you can't afford that, get 3. If you can't afford that, get 2. If you can't afford that, get 1. Your minimal program is 1 healthy blood sugar pack and 1 bottle of selenium a month, and 1 bottle of something called Ultimate Daily Capsules. Ultimate Daily Capsules. Your minimum program is 1 healthy blood sugar pack, 1 bottle of selenium, and 1 Ultimate Daily Capsules per month. In a perfect world, you would do 4 healthy blood sugar packs, 4 bottles of selenium, and 2 bottles of Ultimate Daily Capsules a month. All right. Plus, eliminate the 10 bad foods. Just eliminate the 10 bad foods. All right. Now, whatever vitamins, whatever amount of vitamins you can get, you start taking them appropriately, and we'll tell you how to do that. By the way, here's a number I want you to call. Well, if you have relatives down there, they're already doing it, so go through them, and, they get credit for the longevity order, and so that's a good thing. So go through the people in your family or the people that you already know that are doing this in order to, get the stuff at the wholesale price. All right, so you're doing the diet, you're eliminating the 10 bad foods, and you're taking the nutritional supplements for 4 weeks, 1 month. Starting in month number 2, I want you to continue the program, eliminate the 10 bad foods, and take the nutritional supplements every day. And starting in month number 2, I want you to eat 1,200 calories a day. 1,200 calories a day, more or less. You got to measure calories. You got to count calories. You got to get into the habit of counting calories. It's a pain in the butt for the first 2 weeks, but then it's a breeze, and you can do it in your sleep. Now, if you tried to do 1,200 calories a day now, you wouldn't be able to, because you would be jonesing for food. You would be jonesing for calories. You wouldn't be able to sleep. You'd be having anxiety attacks. You'd have to oh my God, I have to eat. It's like that. But when you fill your body's nutrient tank up with our stuff and eliminate the 10 bad foods, your cravings virtually disappear, and it becomes actually possible to eat 1,200 calories a day without anxiety and without having to work at it. So starting on the 5th week, you eat 1,200 calories a day, 1,200 calories a day. And once you're dialing in the nutritional supplements, eliminating the 10 bad foods, and 1,200 calories a day, you will start to drop weight. You'll lose 1 pound to 3 pounds a week, 1 to 3 pounds a week. Now, the last thing I want you to do, what I never want you to do, and not for the rest of this year, for the rest of 2013, I don't even want you to look at a gym. I don't want you to do any exercise whatsoever. 0 tolerance for exercise. You want to go outside for a walk around the block? No problem. You want to take a leisurely stroll through your neighborhood? No problem. You want to go for a walk in the park? No problem. But I do not want you to get on a treadmill. I do not want you to get on a bicycle. I do not want you to do any type of aerobic exercise. 0 for the rest of this year. Just focus on the 1,200 calories, the nutritional supplements, and eliminating the 10 bad foods. Do that for the rest of 2013, and you'll probably lose anywhere between 50 and 100 pounds. Now, while you're doing this, you need, of course, to continue. Are you measuring your blood sugar every day or not?
Yeah, I got a meter. I don't do it every day, but...
All right. So every couple days, you just continue to measure your blood sugars, because after a while, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 2 months, I don't know, your blood sugars are going to start to come down. The numbers are going to start to drop. They will. Right. And when the numbers drop, then you can either call up a pharmacist and say, hey, my blood sugar numbers are getting better. How do I get off of this, the blood sugar meds that I'm on? Or go back to the MD, and he'll reduce your prescription doses appropriately, because as your blood sugars normalize, you'll need less and less and less and less of the meds, and then you won't need any. Okay?
Should I talk to him?
No, don't tell him you're doing this. He's an idiot.
Tell him what I'm going to do. And
No. Do not tell him this. He's got no conceptual awareness of this. The only thing that he'll do is put the fear of God in you. He has no understanding of this treatment whatsoever. You can tell him if you want, but it's a fool's errand. He doesn't know anything about this whatsoever, because if he did, he would have had you on this. If he did, he never would have put the stint in. By the way, when they put the stint in, did they tell you it has a 5-year shelf life? Did they tell you it's only going to last 5 years?
No.
Yeah, all right. So it's only going to last 5 years, and the stint does not fix the problem. The stint does not fix the problem. It's like painting over the mold in the basement. You do not have high cholesterol, and you do not have sleep apnea. I don't care what anybody's told you. Cholesterol is not the problem with your heart, with the arteries getting clogged in your heart. Inflammation in the arteries is the problem. It's not cholesterol. Inflammation in the arteries is caused by consistent consumption of inappropriate food for your body. For goodness sake, it's like putting diesel fuel in an unleaded tank. The car's going to run like crap, even if it's brand new. Well, when you eat all the wrong foods all the time, and it's not your fault again, it's your doctor's fault. I know this. Why don't they? When you eat all the wrong food all the time, it causes inflammation in your body, and when inflammation happens in your arteries, your body freaks out and lays down a cholesterol bandage to patch it so you don't bleed to death. For goodness sake, cholesterol is your friend. Do not worry about your high cholesterol. Do not worry about sleep apnea. Nobody has ever died from sleep apnea. You want to be on the machine, go ahead, but you don't need to be on the sleep apnea machine, for goodness sake. All right, so
they had me on oxygen. I just thought.
Well, you might be in such a state at 400 pounds that a sleep apnea machine would benefit you until you get down to about 250 pounds. I don't really care about that. But the point of the matter is we've got to nutrify your body. We have to eliminate the 10 bad foods from your consistent consumption, and then we have to dial in 1,200 calories a day. But listen to me, Jim. If we do this in nice and easy steps, you are going to sail slowly into the land of health and a good, healthy weight for your body. Might take 3 years for you to come back to a normal, healthy body weight. Might take 2 years, but it's going to happen if you follow my advice. Why don't you give me a call back every couple months and tell me how you're doing? Give me a call back every couple weeks, for goodness sake, and tell me how you're doing. Check it out, brother. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. Thanks for the call. Hey, everybody. Have you fired your MD yet? I know you want to. Take the plunge. Change your comprehensive health insurance to catastrophic instead. Get on board with my health recovery webinars. Get the books, get the CDs, get the nutritional supplements. Take back your health and draw a line in the sand. Just like Todd from California did. Hey, Todd, welcome back to the show, buddy. You are live.
Hey there, Dr. Glidden. Calling to update you on my progress for Becker muscular dystrophy.
Okay, good. Now, was this you or was this somebody else?
This is me.
Okay, very good. So how long have you been diagnosed with muscular dystrophy?
I have been diagnosed since I was 3 years old.
Okay, and how old are you now?
I'm 24 currently.
Okay, and how's it going, man?
Well, this is my 17th day on my protocol combining longevity products, extra selenium, a gluten-free diet, along with electrical stimulation. Now, my experiences of this protocol currently are absolutely matching the positive claims of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition formulated by licensed naturopathic physicians that supports and promotes the proper health of my muscles.
You gotta love it, buddy. So what's your experience been?
Through the roof energy. It seems that all the fat I've had is melting away, such as on my calves. All right, so let's dial this in, though, for the listening audience. So before you started this health recovery program, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being perfect energy, just perfect energy, where was your energy before you started this program? I would have to give it a 6.5.
And what is it now?
I'll say it's a 10 because I can't go to bed until like 12 o'clock every night.
All right, man, so your energy is all the way back. Very, very good. What's next?
Now it's time to rebuild those muscles.
So you're losing a little bit of fat, is that right?
Yeah, it seems to be like melting away and turning into muscle, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so what part of your body are you experiencing the fat turning into muscle?
Mostly in my abdomen.
Yeah, very good. How about your legs? How are your legs?
my legs, they seem to be a lot firmer, too, when I walk.
Yeah, okay, so this is the problem, of course, with muscular dystrophy, folks. For those of you in the listening audience, muscular dystrophy is a birth defect. Dr. Wallach's research shows that one of the leading causes of muscular dystrophy is a deficiency in the nutrient selenium, the trace mineral selenium, in the blood of the pregnant mother at a certain stage of fetal development. If you don't have enough selenium, the genes that code for good muscles, good muscles don't fire appropriately. So kids are born with muscular dystrophy inappropriately, muscles just aren't right in their body. And one of the things that happens with muscular dystrophy is the muscle gets replaced with this weird kind of fibrous fatty tissue. It's not muscle, it's this other stuff. And Todd's experience is that that's changing even after 7 days. And Todd, we weren't treating muscular dystrophy, were we?
No.
We were supporting and promoting the ability of your body to fix itself. You are the greatest man. Any other positives you'd like to report?
Well, I just want to let people know that muscular dystrophy not only consumes you physically, but it can consume somebody emotionally. Living with muscular dystrophy is pretty stressful. I mean, imagine having to pre-program every movement in your head before you do it, because if you're not careful and let your guard down, the risk of falling is very high. And I can see why people feel so relieved when they actually have to use a wheelchair or scooter, because the stress of worrying about falling is completely gone.
Yeah, that's quite a remarkable thing, isn't it? All right, listen, man, Todd, you're an inspiration. Here's what I want you to do. I think I asked you to do this before. I'm just going to reiterate it. Once a month, right around the 1st or the 2nd of every month, I want you to call me back and give the listening audience an update on your progress. Once a month, buddy, give me a call back. And do you have a website you'd like to share?
Yeah, you can find us on the web if you search for Defying Muscular Dystrophy. And our mission is to optimize the quality of life for any person living with a neuromuscular condition through raising awareness and educating the world at large.
Ladies and gentlemen, I love my job. I love my listeners. This is the greatest thing since the sterile technique. Now, where are Todd's doctors in this mix? How come they're not the ones doing this? How come it's left